Hey YouTube, this is Dean making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. This one just turned up in the mail today. This is bought off the Ukraine, off Etsy. The VikingGoodStore Swan striker. Little fantasy striker. Not a bad little striker. I opted, in his store, he's got a drop-down menu, 3 traditional strikers. You can get the Swan or 2 of the other traditional Viking strikers. I opted for the Swan. I don't have any Swans in my collection, so thus I bought this one. You also have various options with buying a linen case or a leather case. I opted for none of them. I've got plenty of cases, so yeah. The price jumps up significantly once you start opting for all those things. Also opted for no flints when there, but he did have an option to buy spare flints with it. That was a bit strange because he said 3 flints for about $10, which I thought was pretty reasonable. I think it was. So I opted for 1, and I thought I was buying 3, but looking at it now, the way it's worded, because I put 1 in, I only bought 1, so it was $10 for 1 piece of flint that size. Yeah, that's pretty expensive. But anyway, it is what it is. I got a piece of flint from the Ukraine. Yeah, it's just a typical flint, brownish flint. Striker's not too bad. Spark's okay. Hand forged. Sparks reasonably well. It's not showering sparks, but it's sparking. Let's get an ember. Wasn't too expensive, but $50 landed. That's including the flint. So yeah, it was it was reasonably well priced. There we go. Yeah, it's not too bad at all. It's a nice little striker. So yeah, that's good. I was a bit disappointed in the flint. Yeah, but that happens. Yeah, you just have to be very careful when you're reading all the description bars, and sometimes, because these are in different languages sometimes too, English is not their first language, so they can be a little bit lost in translation. So yeah, that's yeah. So let's have a look. A good, nice thick strike face. Yeah, it had been tested. Obviously he's put some, I think it's beeswax or something on it, or left it out of the forge, so it's all blackened and that, but which is great. I like that. It's a nice rustic striker. Yeah, feels good in the hand. Nice little striker. I like these fantasy type strikers. Anyway, so yeah, VikingGoodStore from Etsy, Swan striker, handmade, various options. Dispatched on the 30th of the 11th, so 44 days in transit from the Ukraine. Not too bad. Yeah, overall, not too bad at all. I won't link it in the description bar. There's none of these left. He's got one of the different one. I will link it, but yeah, none of the Swans left. Only his traditional Viking one. But yeah, they do come from the Ukraine, so they do take a little while to come here. But yeah, I mainly got it because I'm going to try to forge one of these myself. I know I can do this. This is not a hard pattern to do, but I always want one to see. It's a lot easier to have one in your hand so you can see what they've done and then go and forge it. And then, so you know, like I can have that there as the pattern, and now I'll be able to forge that striker and get the pattern down right. So that's why I bought it. So I know, because I had this in a picture on my phone, and I was going to forge a Swan striker for myself. But now that I've got it in my hand, I'm sure I'll be able to replicate this a lot easier, because it'll be there next to me as I'm forging, and I'll be able to do it, and it'll be a lot easier to do it that way. So yeah, because that's not a hard pattern to do. It's just drawing the tines out a lot longer, shaping up the face, and yeah, doing the curl and everything. So yeah, that's a good pattern. I think that'll be a reasonable pattern for me to be able to do, and I'll be able to do that. I'm sure I'll be able to do that pattern without too much of a problem. Yeah, so that's the main reason why I got it. Embers all over the place, but anyway, they've all burnt out, thankfully. But yeah, and yeah, that's the main reason why I got it. So yeah, and yeah, it's a nice little striker. I'm glad I got it, mainly for my smithing purposes. Anyway, that's the VikingGoodStore Swan striker. Thanks for watching.